Hey dog mums, welcome to the Natural Dog Mum podcast. I'm Sherry, your host, and also Bear's mum. This week, we're chatting to the founder behind the brand Master Bowie. Canine nutritionist Riesa Renata makes raw, balanced, fresh meals designed for dogs in the Melbourne area. She does nutritional consults and she even does cakes and fantastic charcuterie boards for dog birthday parties and special events. She's going to be talking about how she started the brand and how switching to a raw diet fixed her Labrador Bowie's tummy problems, and she's going to give you some tips about how you can get started feeding raw. Stick around. We are here today with the lovely Risa from Master Bowie. She is a canine nutritionist and canine chef extraordinaire, and I'm very excited to chat to her about all things raw feeding and about how she got started in the space. Welcome and thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Nice to be here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, can we start by telling us a little bit about how you got started with raw feeding? I understand it was because Bowie had some issues when he was younger.
Yeah, so that's basically how we started. We started the fresh food feeding journey probably over 8 years ago. So it started with Bowie having multiple digestive issues. And taking him to the vet back and forth and trying to basically cure and solve the issues, being prescribed antibiotics, medications, and it resolved the symptoms at that time, but it kept coming back. So intuitively, I thought, this is not really curing or solving the root cause of the problem. It's just basically putting band-aid after band-aid. And my intuition say, well, this must be in the diet, because at that time, Bowie was fed, like a kibble diet, prescription kibble diet suggested by the vet, but that didn't seem to help him at all. So I did my research, and I think 8-9 years ago, fresh food feeding or even raw feeding wasn't as popular or mainstream as it is now. So I did my research, joined a group, and we did a slow transition. So it's not a cold turkey transition for Bowie, because at that time, I wasn't that confident and I was still learning as well. And then I was basically letting Bowie to guide me as far as how his body transitioned. So gradually, after we transitioned to fully fresh food feeding, his symptoms just gradually subsided, and yeah, it just never came back. And then he's just stronger and stronger, digestive wise, immune wise, and yeah, it's just there's no turning back.
Amazing. So, can you tell us a little bit about the kinds of symptoms, the kinds of things that you were seeing that he was having until you started transitioning to raw? Was it runny poos? Was there nausea and vomiting? What was going on?
So it's more than running poo, really. It's like explosive diarrheas. I remember having to clean his diarrhea everywhere at night. The symptoms happen acutely. I think it's just it's just a small change in the diet, or even just like having something different. His stomach, his gut is very sensitive, and it just triggers that symptoms from like soft stools to bad diarrhea. And then it seems to be just sort of like a chronic, it's ongoing, it's coming now and then. And the symptoms resolve after prescription drugs or antibiotics, but then in a few weeks or even like in a month or so, and then it kept coming back. So it's just like an ongoing cycle. And then at that time, of course, like I trusted the vet. Nothing wrong with the vet. It's just sometimes vet didn't really know as much nutrition or diet as as they were taught. But like they're just doing what they're being taught. They just prescribe us with medications, but it's just creating this ongoing cycle of antibiotics obviously kill all of the good bacteria, and then the symptoms might disappear, but the gut's actually getting weaker and weaker, and then every time there's something new or a trigger, just even a small trigger, and then it just just went back to the same cycle again. So yeah, so that's pretty much the issues.
So when you first started doing your research into raw feeding, what were the first steps that you took to slowly introduce it to Bowie's meals?
So I basically stopped the kibble straight away, and I actually use freeze dried coupled with our DIY. I actually did a bit of home cook, like lightly cook, so not fully raw at that time. So I just gradually transitioned to that. And then even by changing his diet to be more fresh food, like whole food ingredients, that actually already helped him. And then obviously I also included probiotics, just to strengthen his gut and replenish the gut bacteria. So yeah, from that, and then gradually including raw food like raw meat together with the freeze dried. And then Bowie actually thrive with raw food. At the moment, I'm actually feeding him both. So I'm feeding him raw food and also gently cooked diet. So depending on what he needs. But yeah, so he thrives on that. And yeah, so just from freeze dried and then gradually introducing raw food until a fully raw food diet with occasional, gently cooked food. So that's pretty much his diet until now. So like fast forward 8-9 years.
It's obviously working for him.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a really good point that you made, actually, when you talked about gently cooked. I think sometimes pet parents get a little bit confused or even a little bit frustrated when they try to start feeding raw, but they find that either their dog doesn't like it or perhaps their dog has a reaction to it. It's maybe a little bit too much for their tummy. Gently cooked or cooked lightly at low to medium temperatures is actually still a really, really healthy option.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been consulting and I've been making food for both dogs who are fed raw and cooked diet. And then, like, I definitely put fresh food, whole foods as a priority. I don't mind whether it's raw or it's gently cooked. Like you say, it depends on individual dogs. And then I think, used to be the end goal or like the dream goal is to have the dog being fed a raw food diet. But unfortunately, some dogs just cannot tolerate that. And, persisting on that, I don't think it's really good. I think you just need to choose the diet that really suits the individual dog. Obviously, the least processed diet possible and using fresh whole foods ingredients. I think that should be the goal. The least most like the least anti-inflammatory ever. So you just need to support their health. I think that's the goal. It doesn't matter whether it's raw or gently cooked diet. That's what I feel.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about what prompted your decision to become a nutritionist and how you started there.
I basically started this journey because of my personal experience. Obviously, I went through that with Bowie, and then I really saw and experienced how foods are really the medicine. It really transformed Bowie's health. So I do believe in the role of food, the role of diet. And then of course I want to support Bowie, my dog, the best and as much as possible. And so that's why it really inspired me to learn more, to understand more. And then I took the course, the Canine nutrition course, both general nutrition and also tailored to raw feeding. Yeah, and then I also learned the role of food energetics and under the umbrella of the Chinese medicine as well. So that really interests me as well. So I'm just continually learning because I just want to support Bowie the best possible, like through the diet and also other modalities as well. So it started from that, just basically purely just wanting to support my own dog, and just gradually, as I sort of build the community, and then it seems to be, many dogs actually experience the same thing, or similar thing, and then many other like-minded dog owners also wanting to better their dog's health through diet. And yeah, it's just even inspire me to help them as well. So that becomes a new passion of mine. So that's how it started, and then that's what I'm doing.
So you're actually offering nutritional consults and tailored diets and tailored meal plans now.
Yeah. Yeah, so I do offer a consult, a one-on-one consult with personalized recipes. So I also make dog food as well, mostly personalized dog food. I help dog food companies to come up with the formulated recipes as well. And on the side, I also make birthday cakes, food treats, all of the the gourmet fancy one, because I also love doing that as well. I just love creating things. I love cooking. I love cooking even before I went to the dog nutrition. I love cooking, so that's just another passion of mine. Just sharing the love through food, through good food.
Amazing. So can you give us some examples of some of the different recipes or perhaps some of the ingredients that might be different when you're dealing with dogs that have different nutritional needs or perhaps specific health conditions?
So you'd be surprised on dogs are like humans. They have a long list of allergies or sensitivities. So I guess I started to, every time I formulate recipes for them, even before I go down that path, I ask for like a questionnaire, their health background, anything that they can tell me. I've got a mixed client, so some clients having their dogs have their digestive issues or any health problems, and other other dog owners just want to learn how to nutritionally balance, or like making a complete and balanced meal for their dog. So I've got both clients, but every time I formulate something, I always wanted to know the background of the dog, and then it's also analyzing their elements as well, like according to the Chinese veterinary medicine. So that will inform me on how I'm going to tailor the ingredients. And and then just, I think it's not trial and error, but it's, like you try something because theoretically it will work, but then, sometimes it doesn't work. Then you constantly tweak. So then I'll be there guiding the dog owner so they can learn themselves, how they can nourish their dog. So I am there to support them along the way. So in the end, like I want them to be empowered and confident as well. So they can, they can look after their dog.
Absolutely. So you're offering basically pre-cooked, balanced raw meals to dog owners in what part of Melbourne, or is it Melbourne wide essentially?
So, well, I'm based in Melbourne. I mean, they can order food from me. So I'm northeastern suburb of Melbourne. So I offer dog food for them, but I also offer recipes as well, so they can do that at home. And that online consultation and online recipes is international, so not only Australia. So I've got client all over the world. And it's just talking with them and work with what they have, because it's amazing on how in Australia we are so lucky. We've got so many different ingredients, fresh food ingredients, they are accessible to us. And it's not necessarily the case for some people in different countries. So then I guess working with them and then see what is accessible, because my goal is like I want it to be all available and local for them. So it's basically getting as fresh as possible that they can get locally. And that's I work with what they have. And like when I sort of consult suggesting supplements and all that, then you just have to work with them, I guess. Like it gets a bit tricky because some countries just don't have access to what we have in here. And then it's just having to work with what they have. So that's why the virtual consultation works as well. So you can be anywhere.
So what are some of the other countries that you have pet parents in?
Well, I actually have self-published recipe books as well. So it's called Bowie Rules Over the Alphabet. So it's basically not just a recipe books, not just recipes. So it also has dog nutrition info. So you learn a bit about dog physiology, about their macro, micro, all of the nutrients that they need. And so I want to empower them with knowledge as well. So it's not like they get the recipe and then they try it. They, like in the end, I'd love them to also able to work with their dog. And then using what they learn as well and apply it to their individual dogs. So the recipe books been bought in the US and Dubai and India and Asia, and it's just amazing. It's just amazing on how we've got this like-minded community all over the world just through the love of dogs and good food. And then it really humbles me to be part of that. And then getting to know them personally as well through a community. And then we just share the same passion. And then having their trust on me as well, guiding them. It's just it's so, what's the word? It's so humbling. So yeah.
Beautiful. So if someone wants to book a consult or they want to purchase one of your books, what's the best way to find you online?
So you can just they can just go to our website, masterbowie.com, or you can just Google Master Bowie, or they can reach me through email, through the website, or Instagram or social media. I'll make sure I'll check the message. And then I guess the beauty about connecting with me is, they get me. Because, like they don't just get a faceless corporation, or, basically it's just me. I definitely, if I can help, I will help, or like I will point to the right person if I can't help, but they can reach me. I'm on Instagram, or looking at emails. So and then they can go to the website. I have the recipe books in there, recipe packs, and they can book consult as well. So there are many ways to reach me.
Thank you so much. It's been lovely chatting, and hopefully we can do it again sometime.
It's been a pleasure as well, and thank you for having me. And so it's
anytime.
It's it's lovely. It's lovely to connect with you and connect with other like-minded dog owners, and
that's my favorite part.
Hopefully, and hopefully we can all do better, as the guardians for our dogs. So either through diet or through exercise or bonding or anything, it's just a holistic approach, and then it's
and it's a bit of a universal love language too, isn't it?
And then I think it's we're grateful to have our very best friends, and then I think it's our responsibility to make sure that they live the happiest and the longest life possible. So there you go. That's my parting word.
Thanks for tuning in for the podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Say hi to your dog for me.